So we are in the shop. This is where they restore all of the cows and whatnot. Same thing like all the other museums. You can see, sheet metal brake, sheet metal shield.
That's us putting the car down on its wheels. Look at that. That's pretty big. It's all time lapse. It takes about an hour or two, and we got it condensed down to about a minute or two where we can. So all the way down to the very far end of the top floor here is our paint shop. And we'll do brush painting, we'll do rattle can. Sometimes air power painters, we don't like to do too much of that because it's a little dangerous fumes-wise. But we do have a big fan there that draws out fume. And this is an example of us working on our core stuff, which is trolleys. These are the gear cases for one of our trolleys. And then this is an example of our volunteers helping us winterize the building, even though we're coming out of winter. They made storm window frames, and they're just priming and painting them. But we have any number of coatings, stains, and paints and rattle cans. I've got a quiz for you though. When people wonder how much it costs to restore a trolley, this is the paint that we use on the exteriors of trolleys. What would you pay? Bear in mind, it's not a gallon. It's 2.5 liters. It's not even a gallon.
I'm trying to remember what ours cost.
Guess high.
Recently.
Guess high.
60.
I'm thinking 500.
It's in between. 60 is a little low for a liter. That'll give you a clue.
Oh, okay.
A liter is about $85. This is 2.5 liters. It's $165. And so
We use all grip for our PCCs.
yeah, and actually all grip is okay for PCC.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
used all grip on our wood body trolleys for a number of years, and then after decades they started to have failures because once the moisture did get in, it can't get out. So what we would find is that the wood was getting punky looked perfect from the outside. Couldn't tell there was anything wrong until you started to touch it, and you could put your finger right through it.
Yeah.
What we found is we had no way to get it off. We tried heat, we tried chemicals, and so we called All Grip and we said, how do you get this stuff off of wood? They're like, you don't use that on wood.
Yep.
It's for boats. So you use it on fiberglass and metal. So for PCC, it's fine.
Yeah.
For a wood car, it's not. So we don't use All Grip anymore because we're still not in the era now for what we're working on currently. In the past, we've done steel-sided cars, 4175, 639. They're all steel. But currently, we're working on wood, and the only exception would be the 1304, which is a PCC, but we're not doing any body work on it. The body is in fairly decent shape.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is our quasi paint shop, and we do almost exclusively paint in here. But if you come back the way we went in, this is what we call the Sash shop, and we do somewhat predominantly work on windows in here. We have a glass cutter. We have a rack over there of all this window stop material like you see here, and we do a lot of painting and glazing and so on and so forth. But we also do chair recaning in here for the bench seats. And then the other thing that's kind of new for us is we're also doing signs. So when you see signs around the campus, we use this vinyl cutter to cut off basically decals, and then we stick them on whatever. If you notice, next time you're down at the visitor center, the big sign that's over the front doors that says visitor reception and also museum gift shop, we just made that the other day. The sign structure existed, but it was rotted, so the volunteers rehabilitated the structure, repainted it, and then we took over and put the vinyl lettering on it. I'm not satisfied with it. We've got to do some part of it again. Anyway. That used to be the signal shop. That's kind of my office. Just on the other side of this wall, there's a desk and a chair. And actually, as you see, the wall, the ceiling goes down. I can't stand up at my desk. But in there is, when you see the signals all around the railroad, a lot of the little bits and parts and things are in there. So Some stuff is just wherever it can fit. Like since I've worked here 5 years ago, this has always been just overstocked personal protection equipment, PPE. So first aid kit, all of our breathing protection, eye protection, and so on. But around the enterprise, it's all deployed. So we've got stations, like when you first come in the door, there's a little protective eyeglass case. There's hearing protection at various places around, gloves, first aid kits, and so on. So, but that's that. And again, just legacy, this is our overstock abrasives, sanding discs, sandpaper, Scotch-Brite pads, and so on. So some stuff just ends up where it ends up. The window stops. This is mohair for car seats. It's all kinds of stuff. And out of all the locations on the second floor, this is probably the most multi-purpose. All these chairs are here because I ran a seminar at 10 a.m. on how I run the shop. I'm the director, and how I facilitate using volunteers effectively, getting equipment, getting supplies, and all that. But it's our master woodworker who does most of his work downstairs. He kind of does layout things up here and kind of does his homework. And then down beyond it is where we actually work on controllers, and it's kind of like the throttle for the car. So we do, we rehabilitate contact fingers and things over there, and that's kind of it. And then you have the oddball items, like right in the middle, you have a bench grinder. It's like, why? Well, that's just where it ended up, and that's one that our woodworker uses to sharpen his wood chisels and stuff. And that's about it. There's an office beyond there through those windows we don't really use. To the right is kind of our kitchen, microwave, refrigerator, and sorts, and that kind of thing. And that's kind of it for the second floor. Any questions? Points to ponder. Did you guys find the Waldos around? When I was your age, I know why mine was on fire.
We're not going home today. Even if we left now, we'd be home way too late for me to play mine.
Oh, no exit that way? Okay. Same blasting booth. Hey. Ooh. This is where the fun stuff is.
The ferry was still running across the island. And the day we took the ferry across, they were having a ceremony because it was the halfway point of building the bridge.
So this is a little machine shop. Typical stuff. Truck sides. That's an interesting way to see if the holes are lined up. I give them that. That's an interesting way. Oh, so for those who knows railroad stuff, you guys know what these are. The slider plates. Yeah, typical truck stuff. So, oh, I like how they did the writing on the floor. Hey, I've done a lot of trucks.
Well, we've got all the plates made.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's the old one. And then the beam here we sent out down to one of the shops in Massachusetts because there were a lot of cracks in it. They welded it, heated it.
Okay. Stress cracks, I'm assuming? Yeah.
Yep. And that's on the car that's right outside here.
Okay.
In the shop. So if we fit it, go out that way. I don't know if you've been out in the barn.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Not yet.
We'll go through here and out to the barn and you can see. Yeah, so this thing here, I mean, a lot of wear here.
Yeah.
The holes are all egg-shaped. So, you know, we're going to ream them to the right size. It was going to make us the nice tight-fit bolts.
Yeah. They want 22 body-bound bolts, which is going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need 22 of them.
I give it. That's a smart way to see if that was lined up with that.
Yeah.
That's,
you know, if you're just to use.
Well, the thing I want to do is I want to get the end
pieces together.
the ends pieces on so
Yeah.
we can
You got
square
valve
and,
heads, maybe
tramp
valve
Yeah.
them
heads
away.
like that.
But they're in pretty bad shape. They've been welded. cut and welded, so I'm going to try to make
could be a
new ones.
disaster.
Okay.
And I think if we
Problem
get
is,
both
you put
ends,
them
because
together, now you're
from here to
fighting
here,
that force.
it's not,
Yeah,
it's
if
kind
you
of
get
like
any
this.
missile
Yeah, it's wonky, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I think if we get them bent, then we can figure that out.
You can kind of bend it back a little bit.
They made it.
That's the
You can persuade it a little bit.
And the wheels
So
are
here are
right
the
there, so it's got a pilot set on
Yeah.
one side and then one driver,
Yeah.
one motor truck.
I understood.
Yeah.
These were the guys.
It's kind of like our maximum traction trucks. You have a pony wheel and then a
Yep.
drive wheel.
Right. Yeah,
Well-
just slide them over, we go in the shop.
You know what I like to call them? Maximum derailment trucks. And they both just slide open?
Yep.
Ooh.
So that truck came out from under this green and yellow
So
car. Went over it.
you guys are fully rebuilding this car.
Oh, yeah. This car, see President Roosevelt on the side of it? See that picture?
Yeah.
That's Teddy Roosevelt. He rode on this car in 1914, giving campaign speeches from Portland, Maine to Lewiston. When the car
Wow.
was retired, somebody bought it, took all the machinery out from under it, and they dropped it at the lake for their summer camp. Spent 30 years in the mud. We found it, went up and said, hey, you know, this is a valuable car. He said, well, it's our cabin. We sent our crew up and built them a brand new cabin. They gave us
Oh, hey. You got a wheel and deal, right?
So that's where the truck came out from.
Okay. You guys blocked that up really nice.
We are very, very careful. Well, look
Yeah.
at this one. I mean, it's been here for 20 years like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no, this one, we've got tons of this cribbing. You'll see
Okay.
it down in South Boston stacked.
Just stacked
We'll
up.
always buy the same stuff, 6 by 6 by, 3 feet. And we insist on good, solid towers. We've got a hydropack set, so we've got the 4 hydraulic rams
Okay.
all tied into a master control, so we can pick them up and
Yeah.
move them. But we've only got one set of them, so this is on. We just put the one behind it, 4175. That just went on its trucks in November. Those
Okay.
original trucks.
How come it looks like it's leaning?
Which one?
The blue one.
Oh, the blue one,
Yeah.
because that's just up in blocks.
Okay, okay.
That's another one. That was a restaurant outside of Boston, and the Boston Braves used to go there after all their professional ball games and have lunch. It had a big opening in the side of it. Kind of peek in the ends of that and look at the woodwork inside that our guys have done, because it's
Okay,
all
yeah.
and it's beautiful interior. This one here was a real first. This was high-speed interurban.
Yeah.
It's got a smoking room in the back that's all mahogany and had big leather settees in it.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, my question for you is, do you consider this a restoration?
Yes.
You do?
Oh,
Okay.
this is a full-time restoration. I mean, these beams, look at the
Yeah.
pattern here. This is old growth, southern yellow pine. The new stuff you buy and it doesn't have the strength. These came out of a mill that was built in the 1800s. It took us 3 years to find these and get them.
Wow.
And then our carpenter done all the work on every
'Cause
one of these bolts. And
there's-
dadders. Everything that's white here, he's done.
There are
He's
all
amazing.
arguments that are like, when you go to this extent of a car,
Yep.
it's not really a restoration
Yep.
anymore. It's a rebuilding.
Yep.
So, it's still a piece of history,
Yep.
no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the roof structure is original.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
You know, we've got all the stained glass windows we've kept. And
Okay.
a lot of
That's
that
good.
kind of stuff. But I mean, our master carpenter, I joke with him all the time. Yeah, hand him some toothpicks and popsicle sticks, he'll build you a trouble.
Yeah, so,
all the stuff.
so this is structural, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just...
Yeah, you
okay.
see the big draw bolts.
Yeah.
So
they
this
sit
beam
down in-
fits right over here.
Yep.
And the whole thing bolts here, and that ties down. I mean, this is the whole structure of this car. That's the only steel. There's,
Yeah, see, we...
a couple of bits
yeah.
here and there.
We did something like this for our single truck car 554. It's so long that the ends warp down
Oh,
over
yeah,
time.
yep.
So we had to pull the metal off,
Yep.
pull the wood beams off, and remake them. And we did something like this. We picked the whole car up off the floor
Yep.
now, and only redid the floor.
Yep.
It was really a
Yeah,
amazing
this is all kind of the
thing.
original floor, but there's some of the stuff because it's sat in the mud for so long.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot of-
just nothing left
Yep.
of it. If it start going down the line, the whole car would just kaput.
Yeah.
It's always nice being able to talk to someone who actually knows himself. Because
yeah.
it's a very small percent of the population who really knows.
When I first got hired here, my boss says, "You are now one of 20 staff paid restoration technicians in the United States."
Yeah.
I said, "I don't think I want to put that on my resume." As long as I've got a job, it's a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. It's always a new challenge
Yep.
every day.
Every day there's something new that you have to fix.
Totally
Yep.
different. Yeah, take a look at me. Probably from the far end.
Well, I can do this though.
The seats are all recovered with green mohair.
That looks
The
really
ceiling,
good.
we do all that glass on the ceiling. We take that and sandblast it, and then put horse-eye glue on it and set it out in the sun.
Yeah.
And it crackles in the glass, and we wash it off, and it comes out like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew about that process. That's a new one. This reminds me of we have a single truck car at
Yep.
Film of the Nights.
Oh yeah.
Charge people like $50 to ride it.
Yep.
No one would say anything because
Oh,
look
no,
at it.
I mean,
look
it's-
at it. Wow.
You know, and again, it's a high-speed car. It's probably a 70 mile an hour car. When you come around, you can see you can see the edge of the horns. There's two
Yeah.
big, huge air horns there.
Oh yeah, I see them. Yep. That's really cool. You guys have a lot of very unique equipment up
Oh,
here.
boy.
A lot.
One set of motors now because this
Okay.
motor's out in the shop. The armature bearings were really sloppy, so we
Okay.
moved the motor and we went to the bypasses and the controllers.
Yeah.
So we're only, but when you do that on this car, this is running in parallel all the time because you've taken the series motor leads out.
Out, yeah.
So, you go into second notch and this friggin' thing runs away. So,
Yeah.
breaking new operators to have them running on the
Yeah.
roads today. So we took it out.
So is two motors out of it, or is just
Just
the
one,
one?
just
Just
this
the
one.
one motor. Okay.
And, they said they found bad coils, so it's in our shop, the motor shop.
Okay.
It'll be, a couple of months probably.
Yeah. You can see you guys had labels on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, safety control. Some of them are painted. Some of them are plugged that don't
Yeah.
work anymore.
It's like, okay, that was something, but we don't need it anymore. Okay, so we just got done a shop tour of the Seashore shop at the Seashore Trolley Museum. You can see another Boston Elevated Railway car in here. So if you guys enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe for more rail videos, anything from Amtrak to trolleys to steam engines. Thank you all for watching.